Well, if Syria's dictator did attack his own people, is that enough to warrant a response by other nations? That's the big question. Here to talk more about the international law aspect of the crisis is Rick Mathews. He's the director of the National Center for Security and Preparedness. Thanks for being with us here tonight, Rick.
Happy to be here.
All right, let's get right to it. It's kind of subjective whether an airstrike is legitimate or necessary, but it's not so subjective as to whether it's legal under international law. Is it legal?
Well, that's a very complicated question. The United States, of course, assumes it's a superpower and has a right to defend itself, and those things are the threats to its national security. And so under that particular pretense, if we as a nation, through the president, view that the actions that have been taken are in fact a threat to us, then we feel compelled to take action, and that's generally been the way it has been in the global legal arena, if you will.
So I guess the legality is subjective as well. The French president said last week that the problem with international law is that it hasn't kept pace with a general consensus that, major nations have to do what they can to stop mass atrocities. Do you agree with that? Is there validity to that?
Absolutely. And again, if we look over history as time's moved on, the United States is in fact the superpower of the world. We do kind of serve as the police officer of the world, if you will, whether we want to or not. And so when we see atrocities like this, the United States has historically decided that it's time to take action to stop it from occurring again and to stop it from being other people considering using that particular type of violence against its people.
And if Syria did use chemical weapons, is there any gray area there? Is that definitely a violation of international law?
Absolutely. 98% of the countries have signed, in the world have signed agreements to that effect. Syria is not one of them. But basically, any use of a weapon of mass destruction is certainly a violation of international law and just what's right.
All right, Rick Mathews, thank you very much for being with us here tonight. In 10 seconds, what do you think is going to happen? Where does this go?
I think probably the president will make execute the order that he's been considering this time.
All right, Rick Mathews, director of the National Security and Preparedness Center. Thanks for being with us tonight, Rick.
Happy to be here.
All right, don't forget, when it comes to the current crisis in Syria, we have you covered on every angle. Get the latest developments on our website, cbs6albany.com. And while you're there, you can sign up for text alerts to get the latest breaking news sent right to your phone. You can also sound off on our Facebook page. All you have to do is like our page, WRGB CBS 6 News Albany, and stay in the loop by following us on Twitter as well.